Guys, regular scheduled programming has resumed. It's me, HH, back from that beautiful 2, 3 hour show that we had on the football dog. I thought that was great. I thought that was really good. And I think shout outs and thanks for everybody who showed up, thanks for everyone who showed up. And I think people had a lot of fun on that whole snack. But guys, this is me now. It's me. It's your boy. And guys, we've now reverted back to where we now talk about. So now this is about where we now talk. So this is where you get to ask me all questions and so forth. So guys, Premier League merchants, you had your 3 hours. You had your 3 hours, you Premier League merchants. Right now is now back to the world of football right now where you get to ask me whatever questions you want, season is about to start. So we have, I believe it's the Premier League and La Liga starts this weekend, but I don't think Real Madrid and Barcelona are actually playing. But the Cannibal, is he moving to Juventus or not? That's what I want to know. Is he moving to Juventus? And what's happening with Depay and Ronaldo? Maybe let's talk about Barcelona. Let's talk about Bayern Munich. Can they defend their Champions League crown, which I don't believe is going to happen? And I keep on saying this. People still don't give enough credit for what Real Madrid did. I don't know when next we're going to have a team defend that Champions League crown because you see, it's Bayern Munich. I just don't think are going to do it because see, people are always very reactionary because they're like, "Oh my gosh, look how amazing Bayern Munich were! They destroyed everyone and so forth." I'm like, "Yeah, cool, that's all right, but that's not how it works." I just think what Real Madrid did was miraculous, and I think that just shows you why the CL is so amazing. Is that it is very hard to win and it's very hard to retain your title. And I just don't see Bayern Munich hit such a peak. They hit such a precipice. They hit such a pinnacle that I think I'm going to very find it hard for them to really hit that pinnacle yet once again. And guys, September 14th. I know the Ziyech is injured. I know he's injured, but September 14th, we ride, we live, we say what's up. Higuain wants to go to Miami. So apparently Higuain wants to go to Inter Miami. I mean, okay. You see, this is why I wanted Messi to leave Barcelona because I still believe in Us. I believe in Us. And I'm hoping because Setien, that piece of crap, never believed in those. He never even believed in Ansu Fati. I don't want to say what I believe, but he never believed in those dudes. But I just hope and I pray that we can see a manager and a coach who can put their arm around the Us and believe in that dude. That's what I want. That's what I want. So guys, let's take your questions, man. Let's take your questions and see what you guys are saying, man. Why you a silicone merchant on Instagram, bro? What do you mean by that? Silicone, elaborate. Do you mean silicone breasts? Oh, sorry. Do you mean silicone breasts or do you mean Silicon Valley? Please tell me what you mean by that. So you people are saying that you guys are funny, man. The football dugout. It's on the YouTube channel. There's the football dugout. Go to the football dugout YouTube channel. The easiest way to do it is if you go to the main page of the YouTube page, click on the football dugout YouTube icon on the front page, and then it will take you there beautifully and relaxedly. Okay. Top 5 greatest African bowlers ever. You see, again, whenever you say this stuff, is in terms. Are we talking in terms of ability or in terms of achievements? Let's do achievements. In terms of achievements, you've got to put where. You've got to talk about Samuel Eto'o. You've got to talk about Yaya Toure. Probably then put in Drogba. And maybe Kanu, because Kanu was in that Ajax side that's one of the champions, also one of the double as well with Arsenal. And wait, was Kanu in the Invincibles? So that's my thing of the 5. Now, in terms of talents, I don't give a damn whether you call me Barcelona. JJ Kocha's number 1. Then I would say then I might say, see, sorry, ever. So JJ Okocha has one. Drogba, Yaya Toure. I'm tempted to say SCN, and of course George Weah. See, but then do you put Kano in there? Do you put Kano? But see, for me, Kano easily gets in the greatest. See, for me, I put Kano just below Weah because Weah, for me, Weah, he's still the only African player to win the Ballon d'Or, deservedly so, and Weah was the best striker in the world when football was tough in this year. Not this kind of easy piece of stuff when football was tough before. And the thing with Okocha is, for pure ability and talent, Okocha is one of the most talented players of all time. I don't give a damn. I don't care. Coming back to the thing, Okocha is one of the most naturally gifted for football players of all time. Those are just the main facts. So that's how I roll. From the other side, HH, can you tell kids how good Scholes was? Anybody who see, if you this is why it's going to be a difficult side. If you don't see the quality of Scholes, if you don't see the quality of Scholes, that is because YouTube doesn't do Scholes justice. See, Scholes is like Javi. If you watch YouTube highlights of Javi, like, okay, what it is, you need to actually watch a full match. If you sat down and watch a full match of Scholes, how he distributes the ball, his passing range, the quality of his passing, how he's able to bring guys into the game, how he's able to control the game, his shooting, his finishing, how he's able to finish and then shooting, his shooting accuracy outside of the box. He's money. The guy is money. So Scholes is a player who you need to have been there at the time, or rather sit down, go to footballer.com and actually watch full games of the dudes. Scholes, because whenever they say, okay, who was England's best central midfielder? Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard, Carrick, easily Scholes. From the undisputed, who had a better international career, Zidane or R9? Also, horseman Lothar Matthäus. No, Lothar Matthäus is not a horseman because he did not make a big enough impact on the game to be a horseman. It's international career. I might argue R9 because if you look at what R9 did in 2 Copa Americas, I believe R9 won 2 Copa Americas. He finished top scorer at the World Cup. And the thing about Zidane is, it's tough because let's keep it real. 98 in 98, Zidane didn't actually play Zidane wasn't actually a baller all the way through the 98 World Cup. He wasn't. That's actually what it is. He wasn't a baller all the way through in the 98 World Cup. He really just played well and balled in that final. But then Euro 2000, he was amazing all the way through, arguably the best player at Euro 2000. And then in the 06 World Cup, until what happened in the final, for me, I still say he was probably the best player at that World Cup. But the thing with R9 was the best player. That's the funny thing. France won that World Cup, but the best player in 98 was R9. Even putting the final in there, Ronaldo at 21 years of age, you flipping Messi, Cristiano losers, was the best player at that World Cup at the age of 2021. So that's what we have there. So I just think when you look at what he did in 98, what he did in 02, and what he did in different Copa America competitions, I'm going to have to roll with R9 having the better international career than Zidane. Just as Zidane what he did was iconic in terms of 06 coming out of retirement, From Dan, Football Hub member Dan, thank you, bro. That's a cool avatar. What's that? Is that Titan thingy? Are you saying Messi being there will hamper Dembele's development? He's done it to himself with those injuries. Look, I know, I get it. His injuries and everything, but guys, can't man hope? Okay, what's my name? Dan, what's my name? My name is Half Hope. I want to try and have hope that maybe he can turn things around. The reason why Messi being there will hamper his development is, I am so excited to see how this team is going to function. Because if it functions how Messi is mostly at ease, it means that it's going to be a Messi-centric system. So a Messi-centric system means that he's going to hold onto the ball a lot and it's going to be about ball possession and intricate passes. But if Koeman changes it up and plays, let's say, in a system that sort of benefits the likes of an Us, that means they'll be much more direct. Because see, the way that Dortmund played under Tuchel with the Us is different from how Barcelona play. Because Barcelona are like, you must protect the ball, you must protect the ball. Whereas under Tuchel is, let's ride, attack, attack, attack. Even if you lose the ball, it's fine, but just keep attacking. And you're given enough freedom to run with the ball and do things with the ball. So I just want the Us to play his game. So if, let's say, Messi stays, fine, because Messi is amazing. But let me see a totally new team. Let me see a totally new revamped team, and then we can ride and we can live. From your man Winks, who the hell said Winks? From Dan, since you read Naruto, I haven't yet read the whole thing. Who you prefer, Naruto or Sasuke? Sakura pink hair or Hinata white eye? Oh, easily. Naruto is, it's not even close. Naruto is easily the best character. Like Naruto, there are times when I literally have to shut the book and I laugh out loud. He is a hilarious. Listen, Naruto is my kind of protagonist because Sasuke is the reason why I love One Punch Man, because One Punch Man is so good because the Saitama is not your regular hero. I love things that aren't regular. Naruto is not your regular hero. He's a loser, and he doesn't, because obviously he's got the special powers and everything. He doesn't realize that he actually has special powers, but he's useless. The guy's crap, and he's very hyper. He has no manners. He keeps shouting. He keeps screaming, all that kind of stuff. So as a character, Naruto is easily my favorite character. Which is why I love Naruto so much, because most times the main character is like the most boring guy, and the side guy is cool. But he is, as the main character, is actually the most fun character. So I love that dude, man. I love him. From Yassi side, man, how is Eto not top 5 Africans ever? You see, I told you it's difficult. You see, whenever people tell me about top 5, it's difficult. See, now when I think about it, because he's top 5 greatest, 100%. For me, I would argue where then Eto is number 2, but behind where. But it's true now. Think about it now. If you're not talking about top 5 based on ability, guys, Eto was even good in Real Mallorca. Forget what he did for Barcelona and Spain. He was still good in Real Mallorca. Guys, please go and watch highlights of what this guy did for Barcelona and Spain. The worst transfer of all time was that swap with Ibrahimovic. If I ever meet Pep, I said, Pep, you have to explain that. You have to, please, I have to sit you down and we have to just try to understand that. How did you allow that to go through? Like, what was your reasoning? What was your reasoning to actually go forth and swap your boy Samuel Eto'o for Ibra? It makes no sense. It makes no flipping sense. So Eto'o, he has to be in top 5 both in terms of greatest and in terms of ability, for sure. So from Armchair Critic, thank you for the super chat, Mr. Armchair Critic, man. Why do you use trophies to say Zidane's greater than Messi if he's not a better player? International, Zizou's a player. Lionel Messi, domestic. Okay, I'm a bit confused. So I don't use trophies. See, just for me, Zidane is a better player than Messi. That's just for me. And this is using my eye test. Using my eye test, I just find Zidane technically overall as a better player. See, the way that Zidane played the game was more dynamic than Messi. Messi is amazing at what he does with his passing, but just using the eye test, if I was watching both players, Zidane at his height was a difference. I told you what Zidane did in some games, and what he did in that World Cup was different. So Zidane is the better player. He's the better player. Messi can do more things, and he has more weapons at his arsenal. But no, he's the better player, man. Who do you prefer in Naruto, Hinata or Sakura? Sakura. Hinata is quite scary and quite odd. I think Hinata that's her rival. I would say Sakura. So Sakura is actually a pretty cool character. But see, those three are actually pretty cool characters. They're actually pretty cool characters, man. All right. So let's talk about it. I was gonna do a vid. I was going to do a vid. Let me take a drink. I think I'm going to stop. I think I'm going to stop because I see a pattern. Every time I get excited or hyped about something, the opposite happens. The adverse happens. And that's just the issue that we're dealing with here. Is like the opposite and the adverse happens. Everybody knows how much I preached about Hazard. I talked up and down. And guys, let me be real with you. If Hazard's mind was right, because his mind isn't right, there is something going on with Hazard psychologically, facts. Mentally, there's something wrong. Because I promise you, if his mind was right, he came in fully fit, Real Madrid are probably in the semis of the CL. Dare I say, even the final. Even the final. And he would have had an outstanding season. And Real Madrid would have won the La Liga by about 5, 6, 7 points. Easily. It's weird. You see, when people first showed me the news, I was like, guys, look, okay, come on, this is pre-season. Of course, he ate some stuff and he put in a bit of weight. But look, man, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be all right. He'll come back and do his thing, you know. But Homeboy was overweight during the season. And the very fact that Roberto Martinez has said, oh, bro, sorry, you can't come on because you're out of shape, something is wrong. And, you know, I'm big on body language. And I look at the body language for Hazard and I'm worried. You know, it has me very worried because his body language just looks off. His body language just looks completely and utterly off, man. And my thing about this is that Hazard, man, you see, you are in a very privileged footballers. Let's not talk big. You're in a very privileged position. Most of us, we have to work. We have to struggle to make ends meet. We have to struggle to do our thing, you know. Bro, you get paid. First of all, to even get paid to survive to play football is a crazy thing. You get paid extremely well to kick a ball around. And all you have to do is get in shape. And that's it. So your only job is stay healthy, get in shape, something that people do for free, and play football. The best sport in the world. This could be depression. It is something psychological. And see, if I was Zidane, I'd say, bro, either you go and see a psychologist or step off. Now, if you're Vinicius, you're like, bro, basically, if you're Vinicius, you are feeding him more donuts, more plantain, and more pandidea. That's it. Basically, right now, Vinicius is cooking Hazard a plantain meal right now. So it's look, it's egg on my face. It's egg on my face because I backed this dude. I rooted for this dude. I stood by this dude because I believed in him. I told you the World Cup semi, what he did for Chelsea was like, no, this is the guy. This guy's easily top three. Easy top three. You know, Messi, Neymar, Hazard, top three. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. From the undisputed man, CR7 will never be the GOAT. He lacks the ball control. Oh, undisputed, please, I am begging you, don't drag me into this conversation. I am begging you. Don't drag me into this convo because it's just going to get ugly. But the thing is this is the thing. And this, okay, look, again, this just goes to the ITs and guys, okay, this is me. And see, this is where we just have to agree to disagree. I have never been a fan of Cristiano as a football player. I just never have. 100%, his achievements are amazing. His goal scoring is amazing. He's one of the best goal scorers we've ever seen. But just for me, I've never found his football entertaining. He's never entertained me as a footballer. And for me, when I look at him, I'm like, okay, this is not a footballer that I call high class. When I look at Messi, I'm like, yeah, this guy's a very good footballer. So just based on the eye test, look at Messi, this guy's a good footballer. I look at Neymar, Hazard, these guys are quality footballers just based on the eye test. So, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, which is why I just say, even if he was to win every single thing, just in terms of just the ability of how he plays the game, I just don't rate the dude. And that's just, it is what it is. Just have to agree to disagree. So Hazard has always been a relaxed guy. He got his dream move and he doesn't care anymore. No. But you see, that doesn't make sense. If you get your dream move, it doesn't end there. The whole point of your dream move is, let me now show what I can do for this my dream club. It's not, I got my dream move, it is what it is, I can now chill. No, it's like your dream move, that's just the beginning. Now it's about I want to now ball. Cristiano's dream move, I'm sure for many people from Portugal, was to play for Real Madrid. But once he got the dream move, Cristiano was like, I'm chill. Cristiano was like, all right, the real work now starts now. And he worked hard. 4 Champions Leagues later, he's made himself a Real Madrid legend. So he hasn't needs to learn from that. I think this is the issue with Hazard. And you could just tell it's a body language thing. For a lot of time, the ability has just come through. And I think he's always felt that I don't really need to stay in shape that much because I have such great ability. The game is just going to come to me. But I think what this has now taught him is it's more complex than that. It's about the work you put in and how hard you work. And I think this is what I always sort of value Cristiano for, that Cristiano is a very hard worker. That Cristiano's work isn't just on the pitch, that the pitch is the end result. It's all the stuff that he does in the gym, the training, constantly perfecting. Because that's what they say. Like, there is no such thing as when you reach perfection as a footballer. You can always improve. You can always improve. So, it's wild, bro. It's wild, man. From Andrew, man, if both end their career now, Cannibal or Neymar? So that's a good question, because remember, they were both on the same side for MSN. Cannibal, because of Copa America. So again, boom, they were on the same side, won the treble, both had profound things on the treble. He won the Copa America. See, and now that's not even up for debate, because, bro, Neymar, you play for Brazil, so there's no excuse for you not to be able to win the Copa America. And I think, he was in the Brazil team where Chile won it twice in those 2 years. So there was no excuse for Neymar not to win the Copa America. So for me, Cannibal, because of the treble, and you can throw in what he did for that season in Liverpool, but also for the Copa America that he won, man. So it is what it is, man. Guys, send those questions in, man. Send those questions in, man. We're gonna have a nice night. All right. What do we say, man? Oh, from Dan again. Oh man, so we're going a bit of thingy. Which character do you prefer between Naruto and Goku? That's easy. What makes you like this character than the other likes? My avatar, is Sasuke and Naruto. And wait, is that Messi? Let me see. Oh, okay, I can see now. Okay, that's Messi. Naruto for sure. The best character in Dragon Ball Z is either Vegeta or Frieza. Goku doesn't have a great character. He's just see the way Goku is like the typical protagonist and then the typical hero. The real characters, guys that have a personality, are Vegeta and Frieza, and maybe Piccolo. Really, Piccolo, Frieza, and Vegeta are the real characters in it. Goku's he's just there. So I prefer Naruto because he's got a character, and he's got a very interesting character, especially for a protagonist, and he isn't the usual protagonist who he's always sure of himself, or he's like the good guy that everyone likes. Like, people find him annoying. They find Naruto annoying. So Easy Naruto because I just think he's a more interesting, endearing character, man. Um, Best transfer in Premier League history. Ooh. Oh, this is. Oh, I think. Oh, this is. Oh, this is easy. Has Cristiano to Man United. That's what you call a find, because at was it Sporting Lisbon, he was just a dude who. Because I remember Cristiano when he was just a pure winger when we used to have wingers, and because I remember him from the '04 Euros, and I was like, okay, this guy is just like a step over merchant. Like again, very skillful. Like the guy was very skillful, and the way that he could do things with the right level it was crazy. Doom, 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 and you would be able to see the ball. So when he first came to the Premier League, you're like, okay, this guy has great raw talent. But how effective is he? Because he's just dribbling for the sake of dribbling. But Ferguson just chipped away. He refined, refined until you saw what he did in that 08-09 season. And then just how this guy became literally the most effective, deadliest player, one of the most deadliest player in world football. So I think, because the reason why I just said that's the best transfer is what he was when he was bought and what he became. So I can't take someone who was already like amazing when you brought him in. So that's because for me, what makes a great transfer is, oh, no one even really saw this dude. You brought him in and boom, like a Drogba. You know, Drogba is another really good transfer. At Marseille, okay, what was he? Came to Chelsea. My God, the guy pretty much like the guy helped define Chelsea's legacy. But I'd have to say Cristiano. Like, I mean, that's a find because when that first season, I didn't think he'd ever amount to anything. I was like, okay, I just thought, okay, this is just a very talented dude who will do some crazy things in the match, but just sort of like a party trick dude. But yeah, man, the guy came through, and then the guy was a quality player, man. Contonas. Oh, what's it called? Because basically, my big brother, he's a United fan. I don't know whether he's the number, but he's like a United fan, and he was obsessed with Cantona. You see, I don't know how old some of you guys are. Cantona was, like that was he was big time, and like for me, the thing about Cantona was he was more than just a footballer. Like he, like before him, he was the first. He was the first guy that had like his collar up and everything, and just the way that he played the game, the arrogance with how he played the game, and for Fergie, he was United's first real kind of megastar, and so forth. So he was the first guy where, okay, you know what, I'm the face and image of the team, and so forth, and also just that. Obviously, people just remember the kick that he did with the fans in the stands, man. But also, like, I remember because he was during time of one of my favorite kits, just football kits, was that Man United black away kits with the yellow numbers. Like, I just like that color contrast of the black and the yellow, man. You know, bro, I am so ready for Game 7. I told you that I'm making a meal and so forth, man. Game 7, oof, I am so ready, man. I am so pumped. I'm so pumped for that, man. What are your thoughts on the FIFA rating? So let me just say this. I don't play FIFA. You know, I play Pro Evo. So first of all, they don't mean much to me. But let's just talk about the FIFA ratings. Because the thing about this is that, first off, I don't even know why people even care about these FIFA ratings, because obviously these guys, they obviously don't really watch the guys properly. If you want to see a video game that does the ratings properly, it's very simple. It's it's Championship Manager. The accuracy that Football Manager has with the ratings is amazing, because the times when like I look at the play, I'm like, this is right. Like those ratings are right. So because I think in Football Manager they take it very seriously and they really study the player. So I don't know how they do it, but whenever I just see the attributes of guys from Football Manager, it is always precise. FIFA is EA. EA are a business. See, Football Manager, These guys are hardcore football fans. EA is a huge multi-million dollar business. They don't really give a damn about authenticity. It's about get that game out, let's make the money. Because they know that they have the most popular sports game in the world because it is of the most popular sports in the world. So they're not like about, oh, let's, if anything, they will even want to, you know what I think? They intentionally do it to create controversy. 100%. Okay. So what could be the most controversial thing that really get people? So because some stuff they come up with, I'm like, guys, you've obviously done this to get a reaction. Because if it now gets people talking on social media and everything, you now generate a commentary and so forth, then it builds up the hype for the game. So, guys, everything is calculated. But yeah, look, don't take FIFA and EA seriously, man. So, what are your thoughts on Lampard? Is he good enough to take Chelsea to a treble? No, he's not. He's not. Let's be real. But look, I've been hard on Lampard. I've been hard on Lampard. But look, man, you know what they always say? As a parent, a really good parent is someone who promotes tough love. And I like to liken myself to somebody who promotes tough love. And the thing about it is, you want Chelsea to do very well, and for Chelsea to do very well, you want to keep on pushing them. So for me, Lampard did well under duress, 100%. Transfer ban, limited amounts of players to pick from, and he managed to get top 4, which is very commendable. But I think Chelsea just can't be about, oh my own, you did so well. Now they don't have the players and so forth. My thing is, I'm going to sit back and I watch to see how Lampard performs. That's what I want to see, is how can Lampard perform and how is he going to be able to get the best out of this, because now there are no more excuses. I have my doubts because he's not Benitez, he's not Ancelotti, he's not Klopp, Pep, who have the experience, and we just know how good managers they are. And we know that, being a good manager with experience is important. Not everybody can be a Pep Guardiola who found success so easily. So to answer your question is, my thoughts on him will be reserved until I see how the season goes through. It is too much to give my thoughts on him. I still think he's a rookie. I still think he's inexperienced. But you know what? He has the players right now. There's no transfer ban. He's bought very well. It's been an amazing transfer summer. So let's now see what he does this season, man. And no, come on. Like, he's not good enough to take Chelsea to a trap. Like, you see, because remember, the difference between people say, okay, what about Hansi Flick? Hansi Flick had no managerial experience. How come he was able to do that with the Bayern Munich side? Hansi Flick has been an assistant coach for a long time. So during all those tournaments with Germany, the Euros and World Cups, he's been learning. Lampard doesn't have the kind of experience of being in the dog as being an assistant as Thingy does. Like, even Arteta has way more. Well, I suppose not really, because Lampard did coach at Derby County. So the thing about this is that so for Hansi Flick, he had, even if he was not a manager before, he had so many years of experience learning the game and being an assistant. So I think that is just very, very key. Top 3 Argentinian players of all time. Ooh. Maradona, Messi. I'm going to say Riquelme. I should say Batistuta. But I'm still going to say Riquelme. I'm going to say, because, it's funny. I was actually thinking about this last night, man. What if? I love these what if scenarios. Pellegrini, you prick. Argentina, and this happens. Like, it was the same thing that happened in 2010. Like 2010, Germany were the best team at the World Cup in 2010. But of course, Spain won it. 2014, of course, Germany were the best team. 2018, some may argue that Belgium were the best team. Some would argue that Belgium were the best team, but it is what it is. Germany were the best team in 2006. That team was insane. Remember, Messi was warming the bench for that team. You had Tevez, you had Crespo, you had Cambias, you had all these dudes. And that was Riquelme's tournament. Because Riquelme was balling in that tournament. And Pellegrini, inexplicably, you're winning 2-1, and because he got so afraid, he took off Riquelme and went defensive, and they ended up losing the game because Germany equalized. So, but for me, I told you, I love Riquelme's game, because when I first saw Riquelme, I was like, why is he so slow? Why is he taking so much time with the ball? But I was young. I didn't understand how advanced he was psychologically as a player. So in my older age, I was like, oh my God, man, this guy was ahead of his time, because he was a guy that just played at his own pace. And anybody who's played football will know what he was doing as a central midfielder is so crazy to do, because you're always rushing and everything, but he always managed just to find time and play within his own speed, and just played within like his own world and everything. So I told you that I love Riquelme, man, just an amazing technical player. But look, I'm gonna go with but Batistuta is Batistuta. But I'll say Maradona, Messi, Riquelme, man. That's my thing, man. Wesley, relax, Wesley, relax. From your boy Dan, thank you, Dan, Football Hub member says, HH, do you think Messi's ability to refuse to go down when being challenged physically is a mental strength? Because it's a regular thing. It's not just balance. I think it's a belief thing, because I think Messi, he knows how good he is. Because Messi knows that if I go down, I decrease my chance of actually scoring. But he knows that if I keep on going, I know I can end up scoring. See, for most players, they know that, look, if I feel a challenge, I'm just going to go down and take the free kick because we had to go through. But Messi's like, bro, I can beat 4 or 5 of these dudes, you know? So if I'm weighing it up, there's a better chance of us scoring or of me scoring if I stay on my feet than taking a free kick. Because I know that if I stay up, I am going to cause serious havoc and serious issues against these defenders. So it's not in my best interest to take the foul. For other players, it is in their best interest, because it is less likely that if they stood up, they'd be able to create situations. Messi knows that, bro, I'm going through everything. Hence why guys are like, guys, so if you're a defender and Messi is one of those runs, it makes more sense to take the foul. Because if you don't take the foul, homeboy could just go 1, 2, 3, left foot, bottom left-hand corner, as he's done many, many times, you know. So it's not a mental strength thing. It's a, bro, like, let me stay standing on my feet. I'm going to lubricate these dudes, man. So, yeah. All right. HH, can an African player ever be a horseman? As it's very unlikely they would win a World Cup. What if Etso won several AFCONs and World Cup golden boots? Would he be a horseman? Thank you for all your content. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. And I thank you for your support. Yeah, look, you see, the Africa thing is... Look at France. Look at France. I believe Mbappe has some Cameroonian and Nigerian in him. What you're now going to see is more and more of these teams have African players who might migrate and naturalize as citizens of either France, Belgium, England, and so forth. So it is going to almost be impossible for Africa to win a World Cup, because so many, if let's say you're an African player and you're really talented, you just say to yourself that it is in my best interest to move to a European country and naturalize than stay in this African country where there may be structural issues, organizational issues, and we just will not be in the best possible frame of mind to be able to win. Nigeria, 98 World Cup, that team was incredible, beating Spain in the opening game. That was an amazing team. Against Denmark, these guys didn't take the game seriously. And of course, there were issues with the manager. They don't listen to the manager and so forth. Ill-disciplined on all this kind of stuff. So, you know, and then we also saw what happened against Denmark, one of the worst days of my entire life. So the way things are going with the amounts of African players that you see in these European countries, it's going to be impossible. But as I've always said, that if Nigeria ever win the World Cup, I will take off my shades and I will never, ever, ever, ever say a single negative thing about Messi and Cristiano for the rest of my life, if Nigeria ever won the World Cup. So that is my promise to you guys. From Newski, thank you for the super chat, Mr. Newski. Thank you. HH, how about Di Stefano? He won 5 UCLs with Real Madrid, was the highest goal scorer, won the Ballon d'Or, and 8 La Ligas. He was a skillful exhibitionist. So again, this goes back to the whole thing of what parameters are we using? Are we using ability or what you've won? If we're using what you've won, oh yeah, this definitely has to be top 3 Argentines in there. But you're not telling me that Di Stefano is a better player than Maradona. You're not telling me that he's a better player than You're just telling me that he's a better player than Maradona. You're telling me that he's a better player than Messi. I don't think he's a better player than Riquelme. So you can say top 5 for sure. You're top 5, top 3, top 4. If we're just looking on the eye test and based on our ability, and it's the same thing that I say with Pele, we don't have enough extensive footage of what Pele did, and we don't have enough full games of Pele. And guys, to be real with you, so 1970 Pele should have been at his peak. So I'm saying he should have been at his peak. And I watched that game in full, the 1970 final. The best player on that pitch by far was Rivellino. If you can watch that, maybe we may actually do that for. Actually, we'll do that. I think I'm going to do that. We're going to do a watch along with the members of that World Cup final because it's actually really interesting to watch. Rivellino in that game was insane. Rivellino was flipping insane in that game, and he was the best player on that pitch. From Dan, great contest. Thank you, Mr. Dan. Thank you. Which of these skills do you think Messi is underrated? Speed, strength, endurance. I might probably say speed, but specifically speed with the ball. Again, because for me, anybody who's played football will know that it is very difficult to tackle short people because they've got a low center of gravity. So when they go right and left, they do it very quickly and at a sharper angle that makes it very difficult for you to get a tackle in at the right time. So the reason why Messi is so difficult to stop is because he goes right and left so quickly and he times it so well with his low center of gravity, and he does it at such speed, it makes it almost impossible to time your tackle very well. Because whenever Messi dribbles, he just does not. Because Messi, he's really watching your movement. So he's not just okay. Let me just do a stop point because Messi is not like a guy. He's not an imaginative, creative dribbler like a Ronaldinho. Who, man, how did he do the skills? He's much more about efficiency, and how quickly he gets past you. So whenever you see him going past guys, he's like, okay, wait, boom, wait, boom, wait, boom, boom. So I just think the speed with which he gets past guys is, I think, what makes it very, very hard to tackle the dude, man. But yeah, it's like defending short people is very hard. It's very, very hard indeed. Very, very hard indeed, man. Riquelme was never the best in the world, while Di Stefano was for sure the best in the world. Bro, I'll say it again. I am going via the eye test. Okay, I'm going via what I am looking at, just visually. In terms of greatness and what they've won, Di Stefano beats him. But just in terms of what I said, actually, Riquelme is one of the best central midfielders I've ever seen. And some of the things that he's done, I don't think Di Stefano has done. So again, from how I view it, that's how I see it, man. Because I like to make these decisions by myself rather than going via what other people said, man. HH, who's your ultimate player in these rankings? Left foot, right foot, vision, mentality, work rate. That's a difficult one. I don't think there's a player that really covers all those things. To be honest, I don't think there's a player that really covers all those things. an argument can be said R9. You could make an argument for R9. Because R9 had good vision as well. Because R9 was remember he was like an all-encompassing striker. So you could say R9. Because obviously I think his left foot was pretty good. But I think when you say left or right foot, I think you're assuming a guy is literally two-footed. Because there are guys who are right foot, but their left foot is right. So I don't think there's really a player who literally has all those things. Because if we're talking vision, then we're looking at a midfielder, because really vision is really an attribute that is really for the central midfielder who really is able to see the entire pitch and the entirety of the pitch. So it's tricky, man. It's a tricky one, man. It's a tricky. I might say R9, maybe the Dan, but I might lean towards R9 on that one, man. I might lean towards R9 on that one. All right, what else do you guys say, man? Best World Cup in terms of quality. Certainly not the Auto World Cup, which was just the most dramatic one. In terms of quality, definitely not 2010. That's a good one, man. The 94 World Cup was pretty good. I think 98. 98, yep, 98. 98. I think in 98, you had some extremely good teams. Again, for me, I still think that's the best African team ever, which was the Nigeria 98 team. Denmark were extremely good. Brazil were that 98 Brazil. If you look at Brazil 94, 98, 02, that 98 Brazil team was the best team that they had. Just that's obviously, but it's weird. It was the best team, but they didn't win it. The 94 and the 02 teams won it, and those teams were inferior to the 98 team. That Holland team was flipping amazing. The Italian team was also pretty damn good as well. That England team, see, that is the last really good England team was England's 98 team. Because you had Shearer in there. You obviously had Becks. I think you had Scholes in there. So look, Owen as well. So yeah, for me, because I think 98, you just had very good teams and you had like really amazing players. You see, because I think like as we've now moved forward and so forth, we have maybe like, okay, there are 2, 3, 4 guys who are playing so forth. But that 98, you had about 7 guys who could say what's up. And I think, Bergkamp was saying what's up. Kluivert was saying what's up. You had De Boer was saying what's up. Dunga was saying what's up. R9, flipping Rivaldo. So the star players were really saying what's up and really were the heights of that. Even Badger was still pretty good in both their months. So for me, 98, the worst World Cup was 2010. That was the worst World Cup, easily, man. But basically, Holland between 98 and 2000, that era, it is a crime. It is an absolute crime that they never won that team didn't win a trophy. And how they didn't win Euro 2000 is beyond me. It's beyond me because that team was insane. That's Holland 2000 team was insane. Because I think they beat like Serbia like 6-1 or something. And if you can, try watching that Holland-Italy game in Euro 2000. I think they missed 2 penalties in that game. They missed two penalties. They hit the ball like 4 or 5 times, and they ended up losing on penalties. So no. That was Holland guys were amazing, man. Will Germany win a World Cup before Brazil and match their record? Well, that's a good question. That's a good question. Because the thing is, Germany, the team that won in 2014 reached its peak. So Schweinsteiger, peak. Klose, peak, was ready to ride out. And then he had a nice group of the younger guys like, Muller, Ozil, Kroos, and so forth. So it was a nice blend of young and old. But you had Schweinsteiger, Bart Simpson, who really formed, and Klose, who formed the core of that team. So Germany are not there yet. I think Germany have a great young core. They don't have those older seasoned guys who can say what's up. Like, see, for me, Brazil have a really good group now, a very good group now. I just think France are a problem. France are a serious problem because France have too many players. Too many players. So I would like to think that Brazil would win it before Germany. Because obviously if Germany win, they match them for 5 each. But I would think that Brazil will get it before Germany because I think that Brazil is. I think I would go with Brazil. I would go with. I think Brazil will. I think Brazil will. But the question is, because Brazil will always produce players, they always will, and that's why they'll always at some point in time win a World Cup because they always produce amazing players, and they'll always at one point in time have one of the best players in the world. But whether they do it before Germany, maybe maybe they might, man. Maybe they might, man. All right, man. Would you take what Madrid achieved this decade and give Madrid? Would you take what Madrid achieved this decade and give what? Okay, let me just. Would you take what Madrid achieved this decade and give Madrid what Barca achieved this decade? Okay, I think you mean that. Would you take what Madrid achieved this decade and give it to Barcelona and give Madrid what? Oh, no. I think if you're Real Madrid and you put yourself as one of the biggest clubs in the world, 1000%, you want to say we are the only team to defend the Champions League title. And oh, by the way, we won it 3 times in a row. Oh, and by the way, we won it 4 out of 5. We won it 4 times in 4 years. So they'll be like, yeah, well, it would be cool if let's say we won like 8 out of the 10 La Ligas and so forth. But there is no way in hell that if you were to ask that group, would you trade what you have for all Barcelona? Heck no. And you want me to be real? Ask Messi. Messi, would you keep what Barcelona have kept this decade? But then there's a treble. There's a treble. 2 trebles. Because that's interesting. I still think that, you know what? They'd keep both of their things. Because Barcelona we won 2 trebles. And a treble is a very difficult. Winning 1 treble is tough. But for a team to win a treble twice is insane. I don't think, yeah, a club. Hey, only 2 clubs have won a treble in the Champions League era. Sorry, only 2 clubs have won a treble twice in the Champions League era. Barcelona and Bayern Munich. Barcelona, they're the only teams who won the they're the only teams who won the treble twice in the Champions League era. So if you're Barcelona, you're like, nah, I think we'll keep our 2 trebles. If you're Real Madrid, you're like, nah, I think we'll keep our 3 in a row. I think we'll keep it our 3 in a row because look, those are unique stats. But then Madrid are like, no one has ever done what we've done. See, Barcelona, Bayern Munich have matched you for trebles and winning it twice. Nobody has ever defended their title. Nobody has ever won it 3 times. So basically, to even say what's up to Real Madrid, defend your title. No one has ever even done that. Oh, if you defended it, defend it again. So Real Madrid's achievement is literally a unique one. So yeah. HH. By January, I see Liverpool being behind Chelsea in the table. That's a bold statement, man. That's a bold statement. I don't want to come out and say that. Because Lampard is still, this is some amazing players. I told you, I can't wait for Monday. I cannot wait for Monday. And I cannot wait for this season because I just want to see how these players are going to gel. That's what I want to see. I want to see how these players are going to gel, man. So my thing is, let's not get hasty. I have too much respect for Klopp. I've got way too much respect for Klopp to disrespect him like that. I'm like, man, this guy's gonna, by January, going to be behind Chelsea. But something just tells us maybe we may see something shocking. So we may see something shocking this season. Like who would have predicted that Liverpool last season would have pretty much gone on that crazy, insane winning run? So, but what's going to be key is how the players gel. That's my only worry, and that's my question is, I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to get overexcited. And I'm just hoping, touch wood, that, okay, these players have great chemistry. That's the key thing. It's not about having individuals. Chemistry. That's what football. That's what football is about. The team that has great chemistry will always beat the team that have amazing individuals. That 2016, the Brazil 2016 had superb individuals. France just had better chemistry. And because France had better chemistry, they were able to sort out that Brazil, because that Brazil team just didn't have good chemistry. Because the thinking was, oh my gosh, we have so many amazing players, we'll just win by virtue of our talent. You can't win a World Cup if you don't have good chemistry. That's not how a World Cup works, man. All right. If Messi wins the World Cup, is he officially a GOAT alongside Maradona and Zidane? It depends how he does it. It's not just about winning it, it's how it. So if Messi leads Argentina, let's say he's a top scorer, or he is critical throughout the World Cup and is specifically critical in the semi and the final, for sure, he will be able to easily sit alongside Maradona and so forth, because he's already completed everything in the club game. The reason why he's not a GOAT is because he's not yet done anything in the international game. So if he's able to do that and excel at a World Cup, 100% he is now in the conversation for the GOAT. My thing is that, this is why I laugh at people that he's not even in the conversation. Now, if you want to just say the club GOAT, he's the club GOAT. How can you be the GOAT if you've not done anything internationally? That makes no sense. That is literally shows no logic, because it's so crazy. I remember when they were struggling to qualify for the 2018 World Cup, and then he scored a hat-trick to help them qualify, and guys said, he's the greatest of all time. I'm like, okay, that's all cool what he did, helping them to do it. But guys, let's stop dropping the benchmark low. And that's the issue I have. People keep lowering the bar because people are so desperate to anoint them as GOATs. They keep coming up with excuses upon excuses upon excuses upon excuses. Where it's like, no, it's very simple. A GOAT is club game, international game. I have never said R9 is a GOAT. I've never said it. I always said R9 is the best player I've ever seen. R9 isn't in the GOAT conversation because he's not really done anything of major impact in the club game. In the conversation, you can throw in a Beckenbauer, but for me, it's between Zidane and Maradona, and I've always said it's Maradona. The reason why I say it's Maradona is because 1986 World Cup, it is what it is. What he did for Napoli is greater than anybody's Champions League achievements, because he had no rights leading that team to 2 league titles. That, as an achievement, is one of the greatest football achievements in history. For guys to walk into flipping Napoli during the heights of Milan and Juventus, when Milan and Juventus were the biggest clubs in the world, and to win the Serie A with them twice, that is greatness, man. What do PSG have to do to win a CL? For me, it's difficult because they're in a similar situation as Bayern Munich, but just that Bayern Munich are more professional. So they're in a similar situation because they're in a league that they can win very easily, and they do win very easily. And by doing that, they don't have good enough training for the Champions League, where Champions League, the competition and everything just raises up to the next level. Because it's not, they have the players, they have the personnel, and okay, if there was maybe one thing, I do think, you know what, Tuchel, I think is an issue because in the Champions League, you need to manage. You need to manage, and you need to be a great tactician. You need to really understand what you're doing, and you need to really make the right subs and have the right tactics and the right strategy. And I just don't think that Tuchel has the managerial tools or skill set to say what's up. You know, I don't think he has the skill to really say what's up in sales. So I think if they change the manager, gets a more experienced manager, perhaps like a Jupp Heynckes or someone like that, and they keep the team, for me, I just think it's a case of just managing. I think maybe Tuchel is that. I think if there's anything, I think it's the manager because the players are there. The team is there. The squad is there. The star players are there. You know, but then you look at their run. Dortmund was the only, okay, well, they played Real Madrid and they played Dortmund. But even if you look at it, Atalanta and Leipzig. But you look at the final, that was close. Where Bayern Munich is the best, like, that was a close game. That wasn't like 2000 Real Madrid Valencia or 2015 Barcelona against Juventus, where like it was one-sided, or even last season Liverpool against Tottenham, where it was extremely one-sided. That is probably the closest Champions League final I've seen in a long time. It was very close. So I just think it's a case of a manager because they are there, but I just think the manager is the issue, man. Oh, here we go. Say, now Maradona has not won the UCL still, so he's not a GOAT. He's an international GOAT. Stop moving the goalposts again. But again, let's investigate this. Who does Messi play for? Barcelona. And what Barcelona side did he play for? Arguably, what people consider one of the greatest club sides of all time. Who did Cristiano play under? Alex Ferguson. Who is Alex Ferguson? Considered one of the greatest managers of all time. And United are one of the biggest clubs of all time. Who did he play for? Real Madrid. Literally the most successful team in European football, who were already a European heavyweight with Di Stefano, Raul, and so forth before Cristiano got there. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. So, because when Maradona played for Barcelona, they were nowhere near the Barcelona that Messi had. Now, Messi was, of course, a key player, but are we sleeping on Puyol, Iniesta, Xavi, David Villa, Eto'o, Henry? Come on, bro. So, because still what he did for Napoli, that achievement, it holds itself as one of the greatest football achievements ever in terms of that is literally a one man going into and changing an entire team. Like, I don't think there's never been an occurrence where a player has had such a profound impact on a team. That's why Taco Maradona is different. That is the definition of greatness. You can walk in, and as a man, you can inspire a team to greatness, which is what he did in 1986 for Argentina and what he did for Napoli. That is greatness. Maradona is the GOAT. He is the GOAT because he is a player who can take an average team to the next level. That's greatness. It is what it is. He's the GOAT. Do you think Inter can win Serie A? Of course they can. Not only can they should. They should. Inter should have won the Serie A last season. Like, Inter screwed up. Inter should have won last season because Juventus were literally saying, yo, guys, please take. Like, they were literally offering them the freaking, they were literally offering them the flipping trophy. They were saying, look, take, but they refused to take. I was like, okay, fine. Yeah, yeah, man, it's like look, guys, it's very simple. I want 10 in a row, personally. If Juventus win the Serie A this season and it's 10 in a row, and Pirlo has never coached a day in his life, I think the Serie A should just end. I will call for an end to Syria. Personally, I'll just say, Syria, please end it. Please end it right now. From your Void Dan, have you heard of Boruto Naruto's son? What mentions do you make of the show hearing from the media, even if you have not won it? Guys, no, Dan, don't post any spoilers because I told you I'm still reading Naruto right now. So I'm not ahead of any other stuff because I have to first finish the story first before I go into any other stuff. So I don't know any of that stuff because I don't really want to roll in through them, man. So please don't spoil it for me. Pulisic or Havertz for my FPL? The safe choice is Pulisic because Havertz is yet unproven in the Premier League. So the safer choice is Pulisic. But if you want to be risky, you may say, hey man, Havertz could give me goals and assists. Because a bold choice when we say Havertz with the G's and his creativity, but I think the safer choice, and maybe the wiser choice, is Pulisic because look what he did last season after the restart. He may have a major role in this whole thing. So yeah, Pulisic might be the right one, mate. Tuchel is an excellent manager. Not fair to blame him when his best players fail to show up. Now, I wouldn't call Tuchel an excellent manager. Come on, more. Let's be real. He's good. I would say he's a real good manager. But I just feel that, okay, let's talk about the game. Yes, Mbappe missed that chance. Yes, Neymar missed that 1v1. Why do you bring on Choupo-Moting and not so when you bring on Choupo-Moting and you don't bring on Icardi, who, let's just be real, he's still a better striker than Choupo-Moting. You're seeing that Neymar is hardly in the game and you're seeing that he is getting completely choked up in the middle. A big manager will make a big call. Di Maria was doing fine, but you're going to make a big call. You bring off Di Maria in the second half, you bring on Icardi, and you free up Neymar, so he's now out the wing, so he now have much more of an effect on the game. He made that change too late of bringing Neymar out wide. That should have been done a lot earlier. And that is just what really big managers do, that they make big decisions like Uncle Moo. They make big decisions. So I'm not saying that he's crap or anything. I just don't think he has the managerial fortitude to say what's up I think in Madrid, man. So what are your thoughts on AC Milan and Inter Milan leaving the San Siro once a new stadium is built? That's unfortunate, man. That is truly unfortunate, man. I don't want to see that happen. I personally don't want to see that happen because the San Siro is one of the most iconic stadiums of all time. It is one of the most iconic stadiums of all time. And to see that go is crap. That would be awful. So for me, but sometimes I think it could just be like a financial thing. It could very easily just be a financial thing where they feel that they need to make the move for different reasons, which are beyond the control. But for me, it would suck, man. It would suck for them to leave San Siro. Like, San Siro is one of the most iconic stadiums in football. It's one of the most iconic stadiums for them to leave it would freaking suck, man. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying, man. My mouth is so dry, man. Let's see. All right. All right. What do you guys say, man? From Dan again, thank you for the super chat. Mr. Dan says, during 8-2, do you think Messi's performance was brick or I don't care attitude? It was both. I think, to begin with, it was slightly brick because he was overwhelmed by just how Hansi Flick's amazing plan to stifle the team. But I think when you're going in at halftime 4-1 down, these guys lost 4-1 in both halves. Side note. But I think when he go in at 4-1, I think he gave up, which is why that is the biggest issue I had with Messi. Because look, my thing about it is that if I'm going to get beat and go down, I'm going to go down fighting. And I'm going to go down saying what's up. And I just think that, for Messi, look, it ain't always going to be rosy. It ain't always going to be, it ain't always going to go your way. Sometimes you're just going to find it difficult. And I think that, you learn about the character of a man when things are not going well, not when things are going well. So walking around, being uninterested and just being nonchalant and everything, I just think wasn't great. I mean, I do get it. When you're losing, flipping 6-2, 7-2, you're like, what? And you see, I sympathize with Messi because I always say Messi, he's a victim of his own success. You have won so many trophies, broken so many records. Your team has probably been like one of the most successful teams of this decade. You've been on the back of 2 trebles. To lose 8-2 is shocking. And I think that when he's so used to winning, he just doesn't know how to react to that. So yeah, losing 4-0 to Liverpool is one thing. Losing to 4-1 to Roma is one thing, but to lose 8, I told you, like, that result is worse than 7-1 because it's Messi and it's Barcelona. That Brazil team was trash. That Brazil team with Neymar and Thiago Silva was okay. Without Thiago Silva and Neymar, that Brazil team was crap. That Barcelona team, okay, not as good as the previous teams. They still had Messi. They still had the cannibal. So, should Marco Reus leave Dortmund? Too late. He should have left Dortmund years ago. I still feel that Reus, at the height of his powers, was the best in his position. A midfielder, breaking from midfield, attacking from midfield, he was superb. And bad luck, horrible luck, meant that he just missed out on the World Cup. He should have won a World Cup. He should have been part of that 2014 team. But he had injuries. But I think Reus at his best was amazing, supremely amazing. And I think you even see shades of what he can do. But if you're a club and you know of his injury history, is it worth the risk? Because you see, if let's say you're Tottenham, Reus would be a pretty cool replacement for Eriksen. If you're Tottenham, so it's tricky. It's tricky, I think that it is what it is. Like him leaving. I also how old is he even? I think he's like 30 something. When Marco Reus age, he's 31. Who is going to spend money to buy a 31, especially in this market? So, I mean, nah. Look, Erhan, you would love, of course you would love Reus, man, for sure. Of course you would love Reus. Why do Liverpool players not play well for their country? Is it because Klopp's system makes them look better? I think Van Dijk is great for Holland. And I think he's the captain. Van Dijk is great for Holland. Salah is pretty good for Egypt, I think. Mane is good for Senegal. For Robertson, it's hard because obviously Scotland, because the team's not as good as, let's say, Liverpool. But I think maybe going in with the whole Trent and Henderson thing, and I think it's systems. Henderson and Trent are not going to look and play as good for England as they do for Liverpool because different system, different manager, and you're playing with different players, So the way instructions are Klopp's strengths and the freedom he gives him is different. But remember, Southgate is a conservative manager. He's a pragmatic manager. And since he's pragmatic, that is not going to be of benefit to Trent, who is a very attack-minded fullback. And I just think that the midfield dynamics means that Henderson operates differently in that midfield spot for Liverpool. So Henderson and Trent kind of flourish in that Liverpool midfield because of the freedom he gives them with regards to an attacking sense and just how the team is structured, which is different because Klopp's philosophy is very different Klopp and Southgate, they couldn't be further apart in their approach, their coaching style, and everything. So once you have that and you're playing with different teammates, how can you expect them to play the same? No way, no way. You know. Um. All right, let's see, man. Do do do. Side chick Greasy to be Barcelona's top scorer this season. Depends on the system. Depends on the system. See, if Messi left, he could have been the wife. He could have been the wife, you know. So you've got access to the credit card, you've got access to the house and everything. You can drive the car around and so forth. But now with King Messi still there, you're gonna go back to being a side chick now. I still think Messi is probably going to be the top scorer this season for the team. You know, Griezmann, I think he'll get some juice. But see, you can't. How can I answer this if I'm not seeing how these guys are playing? You know, if I'm not seeing how these guys are playing, this is an impossible question to answer. You know, so let me see what the system is, how they're playing, where Griezmann plays, what his role is. Because that will tell me a lot as to how effective he can be. Because if he can create a situation where he gets Griezmann in the center behind a striker, all right, well, we're cooking because Griezmann is most effective in that position just by the striker. So if you look at for him for France, or look at him for Atletico Madrid, he's very good in that hole in the position. But even now moving out wide and so forth, and you're playing a possession game, that's why Griezmann is really good for pragmatic sides. Is there any surprise that Griezmann is great for Atletico, great for France and Atletico, Simeone and Deschamps are pragmatists? Griezmann doesn't work in an attacking side or a possession-based side. So, from your boy Nuski, as blasphemous as Milan leaving San Siro grounds, stadium locations pose a systemic accessibility problem in Italy, resulting in clubs sharing stadiums. No, look, I said it's a structural thing. Yeah, which is why you have to have people sharing stadiums and everything, because you have to look at finance. Because I remember reading something about it, and I think it's something to do with finances, and there's like a financial issue. But it's one of those things of where you're talking about one of the most iconic stadiums ever. See, even when Juventus moved away from the Delle Alpi, I was like, oh, damn it, man, Delle Alpi, man. I grew up with this stadium and everything from all the FIFA games and so forth, you know, like Lippi, you know, Vialli, all those dudes. But here's what it is. San Siro, that's a different, like, if you think about iconic stadiums, you think San Siro, Camp Nou. I tell you, for me, I agree with you because this is just in terms of just visually. I think that's it. San Siro and Camp Nou. I mean, maybe Wembley, maybe the old Wembley. I would argue maybe the old Wembley. You could argue the old Wembley, obviously the Maracanã. But in terms of iconic stadiums, okay, iconic club stadiums, for me, San Siro, Camp Nou. Just what they look, because they look like you're in a coliseum. And just how they are built and how they're structured, like, oh no, you're really, and just there's just a feeling you have when you're playing in this San Siro, that you were like in this kind of, you were like in an arena, like in an old style Roman arena. So to lose that, not good, man, not good, not good. You see, the Bernabeu is maybe because of the history it has. Are you telling me that the Bernabeu is visually as crazy as the Camp Nou or the San Siro? See, when you look at San Siro and Camp Nou, it's like you're going into this gargantuan piece of work, you know. See, Bernabeu, Anfield, these just look like regular stadiums. That's the thing. The San Siro and Camp Nou don't look like regular stadiums. That's why it feels differently when you play there. So it's not just about the history of the thing. I told you, like the Azteca Stadium. That's crazy. You know, It's crazy just from a visual level. But I think visually, because it's not just about the size, just in terms of the architecture and the design. San Siro and Camp Nou are the ones that just spring to mind for me, man. Um, so that's my thing, man. All right, let's just see what I gotta say, man. Since I remember you did like Sakura some videos ago when you showed the Naruto book. No, no, no. I think that was specifically, but I think I've grown to like her a bit more now. And I think like again, she's not like my favorite character, but I think she's sort of grown on me. And I'm sure I sort of like understand where her character comes from now. So I'm like, okay, cool, cool, okay, yeah. Because I think her character has developed a lot. It was honest, and I think there's great chemistry between those three, man. So what do you think is a better for football player? Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Robert Lewandowski, Neymar, Mbappe, not Mbappe, Mbappe, Ibrahimovic. Um, so if we take everything into account, you know, um, I would if we're taking everything into account for me, it's between Neymar and Messi. Lewandowski is definitely up there. I do like Lewandowski. Mbappe, I think there's still a few aspects of his games that he needs to sort of improve upon. Ibrahimovic and Cristiano, boom, their quality. But for me, I think it's between um, Neymar and Messi. And at their best, I would still roll with Neymar because I just think for me, Neymar just he does things that are a lot more exciting and dynamic than the other dudes, man. So that's just me, man. Um, oh, that's another good one. I think isn't it the Bombonera, Boca Juniors Stadium? Because my uncle went there. Because my uncle went to see Boca Juniors against River Plate, and he said that, bro, it's like you're walking into hell. So that's another crazy. I think it's called the. I think is it called the Bombonera? I think. Um, it's yeah. That one is just pretty crazy, man. Um, all right, what are you guys saying, man? Yeah, Signal Iduna Park is pretty good, man. It's pretty good, man. HH, do you think Mourinho is winning a UCL with this Man City squad? Yes. I mean, what? I because thing Mourinho will figure out and he'll coach the defense and ensure that the defense works 100%. I have a creator in De Bruyne. Oh, I have a finisher in Aguero, Sterling. Oh, I don't think he would have sold Sane. I really don't think he would have sold Sane. So because he's got so many weapons in that team, and I think that between De Bruyne, Sterling, and so forth, he would be able to surgically sort out teams and so forth. So for me, because I think, and that's the key thing, what has been City's Achilles heel are defensive mistakes. They've made it defensive mistakes and poor defensive mistakes. Mourinho would ensure that those defensive mistakes don't come through, and actually have finishers. Boom! Because the beauty about watching the whole all or nothing doc is that's management. See, Pep doesn't manage; he coaches. He's a coach, so he'll improve your footballing skills, but it doesn't not like Pep isn't winning a UCL with FC Porto. There is no way. There is no way in hell that FC Porto side that Mourinho has, Pep is winning it with it. It's not happening. It's impossible. Mourinho is a manager. He knows how to manage. So if you give him all those quality players that City had, that's FC. Who did he have in FC Porto? Who did he have? Let's keep it real. Nobody was looking at Inter Milan winning that UCL in 2010. No, nobody. People need to put some respect on Uncle Moo's name, man. People need to put some respect on Uncle Moo's name. Put some respect on his name, man. What do you think of Hinata Higuain? Are there any qualities you like? Well, who is this thing? The Hyuga. Oh, she's see, remember, I'm still reading, man. So maybe we need to see, but at the moment she seems a bit creepy. She seems a bit creepy, but you know what? It is what it is. Because obviously she obviously likes Naruto and so forth, you know. But she just seems a little bit creepy. Just an itty bit creepy. I'm like, okay, what is her motive? What is her MO? What is she trying to do, and so forth. So yeah, I'm a bit wary about her. I'm a bit wary about her. Has Bill ruined his legacy? You can't ruin coming off the bench and scoring an overhead bicycle kick in a CL final. So, like, there's nothing Bill can do. Bill can literally play goal from now until until he's 50 or 60. It doesn't negate the fact that he was critical, that he has 3 UCLs. He played a marriage part in 2 UCLs, and he scored one of the greatest ever Champions League goals in a Champions League final off the bench. Because the thing about, see, aesthetically, Cristiano's overhead kick was better because it was just a thing of beauty, because it was just precise, beautiful. The connection was great. Bale's was more difficult because Cristiano, he had time to set himself up. Bale had to literally catch it. So Cristiano was like, okay, boom, one is coming. All right, boom. For Bale, it was a split second and he had to catch it as the ball went through. So the difficulty for Bale to pull that off was insane. Was absolutely insane for the way that he was able to pull it off, man. So that's the difference, dear sir. That's the difference, dear sir, man. Oh Lord. Nicki Minaj or Cardi B? For me, easily Cardi B. Easily Cardi B. Are there any qualities you dislike about Cardi B? Not really. No, because see, I love people who are honest. I love people who are honest, and I love people who speak their mind. I love that. For me, Nicki Minaj just feels very fake, and she feels like she's working very hard to create this very specific image of herself. And I just hate people that do that. I'm like, man, be who you want to be. Be who you want to be and stop manufacturing an image, which is what I think she's doing. She's manufacturing an image. Whereas I just think that, you know, Cardi B feels more genuine and more honest, and she speaks her mind, you know, and I like people that aren't afraid to look foolish, aren't afraid to look wrong and everything, because honesty is cool. Honesty is cool. So I just think, for me, easily Cardi B. Thoughts on Xbox Series S? Bro, I've just been playing the Nintendo Switch. I've just been playing Zelda and Animal Crossing. That's what you call a games console. That's what you call a games console, where these are games that are damn enjoyable. And the Nintendo Switch console, I'm sorry, this is an amazing console, because it's not just about graphics. So the Series S is next gen games, but it's not in 4K. So what's the point of me getting it? Because all I'm being offered for this whole new console is, oh, it's going to be in 4K, but you need a 4K TV. Oh, so I need to now spend more money to buy a 4K TV in order to enjoy the Series X, which is obviously the real next gen machine, because the Series S is okay, all those next gen stuff, but it's not in 4K. So my thing about this is that, look, I'm not hating on anything. I bought the Xbox because of Halo. Because I have to play Halo, so I'm going to buy the Xbox. I got the 360 because of Mass Effect. I saw Mass Effect, I got to play Mass Effect. I got the Nintendo Switch because of Zelda. And now Animal Crossing, because, oh, I need to play those games. So we got the PS2 because we knew of the quality of the PlayStation. So why am I getting a Series X if there are no games? That Halo game was garbage. that piece of crap was garbage. And it's coming from a Halo fan. So what game do I need to play in order for me to buy the console? There isn't one. So no, I'm not spending £400 to get a console where I'm not going to be playing any games. And any other features you have, I've got it on my smart TV, I've got it on my flipping Xbox One. So will Scotland ever be good internationally? You always have to have hope. You always have to have hope. You always have to have hope. I think it's a thing of investment and coaching, because see, this is my thing about Scotland. They've produced some of the best managers, and Scotland have produced arguably the greatest manager of all time in Alex Ferguson. So there is a great understanding psychologically of the game from Scottish people and Scotland, as Fergie and other managers have shown. So I just think it's about investments and coaching. And I just think about really proper training in players, because the thing about football is the better players just always win. It's a team who have the best chemistry and who are the best prepared. So it depends how serious Scotland are in wanting to really improve themselves internationally. And I think if they're serious, training and coaching those kids, having a concerted effort in coaching those kids and just breeding and trying to find and scout real quality players who are good technically and really honing their technical skills. And I think once you do that and you create a great team, because Scotland are not going to create like a Neymar or a Ronaldinho or so forth, but Greece won the Euros. How did Greece win the Euros? They didn't have one single world-class player in the team, but what they had was a great team, had superb chemistry. So superb chemistry, great team ethos, everybody on the same wavelength, everybody working hard, and a great system can take you a very, very long way, man. Can take you a very, very long way, man. HH, Pochettino's next destination. It's tough, man. So Barca is gone. Real Madrid is gone. If Inter had sacked Conte, or rather, if Conte had left Inter Milan, I think that would have happened. It's a difficult one because not Bayern, not PSG, not Dortmund, not Juventus. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, no idea. Like all the major clubs are all spoken for. All the major clubs are all spoken for. So, like, I just don't know where he has to go, man. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, like, see, my thing about this is that how good is Poch really? How good is Poch really? Okay, cool. You sort of overachieved with Tottenham. Were you really the reason Tottenham got to the Champions League final, or was it a mixture of good fortune and great individuals doing great things? Because I told you, the moment Poch benched Lucas Moura to start Harry Kane was when I said, "Screw this dude." That's when I just said, this guy ain't serious, man. This guy's not serious, bro. But I don't know. I really don't know where he's going to end up, because I really thought that he would have taken the Bayern job. Even though that I was sure they were going to go. I was sure when Sarri did what he did and he got sacked, they would go for Poch. I didn't see Pirlo coming in. Like, Pochettino just made sense. That's okay. Look what he did for Tottenham. Give him more players. I think he's ready for a more higher profile club, guiding a team to the CL final. Go over to Juventus. they went for flipping Pirlo, which is insane. From Danman, HH, I know you hate fanboys, but which one do you hate more? Messi fanboys or Ronaldo? Dragon Ball Z fans or Naruto fans, based on what you read on Twitter? You see, I've not really experienced too much from the Dragon Ball Z fans or Naruto fans, but I don't think they are as psychotic as the Messi or Cristiano fanboys. Um, I hate them the same. Like I despise them the same. The Messi and Cristiano fanboys, they make me sick. Now, be careful, not fans. People who are fans of them, oh, fine. I mean, everybody loves their play. Like what's it called? I'm a huge fan of R9, Marcelo, and so forth. Fanboys, people who are obsessed about them, and people who will attack me racially, attack, insult my country, and be very rude to me because I just say, no, Cristiano is not a very good football player. Messi is an international flop. Like, that's what it is. Like, how do you go from me saying Cristiano is not a very good footballer, Messi is an international flop, to insulting my country, being racist, and being rude? Like, it doesn't compute. Like, let's keep it with full football. I haven't insulted your family, I haven't insulted your country. So that's why I say these people are psychopaths because how do you take it so personally? Me insulting dudes who don't give a damn about you. Messi and Cristiano don't care about you. They have families. They don't want anything to do with you. Okay. If you went up to them, they're like, okay, get away from me, you flipping creep. You flipping obsessive creep. Get the freak away from me. So yeah, I hate them both the same. Those fanboys, they make me sick. Very, very, very stupid, sad people, man. Do you think Ansu Fati has the requisite ability to be the best player in the world? That's a deep question, bro. He does. I don't know whether he will develop to be. Because remember, in 5 years' time, we're looking at a very different climate. In 5 years' time, there's no Messi and Cristiano. And in 5 years' time, homeboy is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So let's just say 6, 7 years' time when he's like 24 or 25, this is a totally different world. A completely different world. Hopefully we'll all be alive by then, touch wood. But even when I just first saw him, I'm like, no, this guy has something. Like, this guy has a very clear understanding of the game that I feel is on a higher level to other players, specifically other young players. And I think because of that, I'm like, yeah, man, 6, 7 years time, of course he has the requisite tools to be the best player in the world. But so did Balotelli. Balotelli, if that dude worked hard and focused, would have been the best striker of his generation for sure. If Balotelli worked hard, realized his talents, he would have been better than the Cannibal, Lewandowski, Benzema, Aguero, easily. Balotelli's raw talent was insane. I have never seen a better striker of the ball, probably ever. Some of the goals this guy could score from his starting position was insane. So you need the right coach, you need the right environment, you need to work hard, you need to train well, you need to pay the right mentality. So there's so many things that need to come together and work in your favor in order for you to say what's up. So it is very, very complex. It is very, very complex, man. All right, man. I fully agree with it. See, Mbappe for me is just effective. And Mbappe is almost similar to Bale. Bale is not a technically gifted player, but he's very effective. Mbappe is very effective. But for me, I've always said the Us is a better footballer than Mbappe. And I feel like Ansu Fati is technically better than, he's a technically better footballer than I think than Mbappe is. But Mbappe is just, he's got a World Cup. He's got a World Cup, man. All right, let's see. Favorite video game ever? I've got to give you a few. I can't just name one. I've got to give you a few. I've got to throw in Football Manager, which is the most addictive game of all time. You got to look at GTA Vice City. So every GTA game is amazing, but specifically GTA Vice City, Skyrim. I think the most time I've spent on a game is Skyrim. Like I clocked almost 100 hours on Skyrim. So yes, I think those ones. I like Zelda Wind Waker, man. But really, favorites: Football Manager or Challenge but Football Manager. Um, I could look at Pro Evo, man. So just the Pro Evo series, just the Pro Evo series, boom. So the Pro Evo series, Football Manager, GTA Vice City, Skyrim, Mass Effect, Mass Flipping Effects. Okay, Mass Effects. All right, don't even play me on that. Um, but no, Skyrim was my game. Like, bro, the hours I spent on Skyrim, man, my lord, man. Hey, Danny Jones, man, nearly 20,000. Bro. Thank you, Danny Jones, man. We're almost there, man. We're almost there, man. All right, what else? Bro, I would argue Final Fantasy because like, see, I was never really a big into Final Fantasy, but I think Final Fantasy 7 is the most famous game. And you know what I'm gonna do? Because I think because you can get it on the Switch, I think I'm gonna sit down and finally try and just properly finish Final Fantasy 7 because I kept on getting disturbed. I think I got like halfway through or something and I had to do something. But Final Fantasy 7, that has to be one of the craziest video game storylines, man. Is Final Fantasy 7. But I think basically the most famous in the series is 7 and 10. They're the most famous in the series for sure. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Man. Look, I had to dress up for the whole football dog launch, man. You know what to do. What to do, baby? What to do, baby? Oh, righty ho. Clippers winning, 10 points ahead. All right. Hopefully, you guys all will go watch Game 7, man. I know. Clippers are 10 points ahead, but I'm building up for the Game 7, man. I think that's going to be crazy. Raptor, these NBA playoffs have been amazing. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's just the bubble, but the games have been really good. The games have been really good. I've really enjoyed this thingy, man. From Miss B Nation, which PES is your favorite so far? There was which one had Henry on the front cover? I think was it Henry and Kaka? I think it was the 06 one. Because that was I think that was the game in which was the first time they broke the whole FIFA thing. Because I think that was because there was one Pro Evo where everyone was like, oh, there's another game. because for so long we're stuck with FIFA. Because remember, so they started with I don't remember whether you guys remember ISS, International Superstar Soccer, which was on the N664. It was cool. Me and my brother used to have heated games on it, man. But then they improved, and then Pro Evo came through. I think the first few Pro Evos were like fine, but then there was like a Pro Evo, and I think it was 06, where they really got it right. And that was one where, for the first time, I think Pro Evo outsold FIFA that year, because I think FIFA had like a horrible game that year. So either that one or this one is pretty good. This one is pretty good because see, the thing about Pro Evo is without even looking at the names, you know when you're controlling that certain player. And this guys, this is the thing. That's what I saw it from before. EA Sports don't give a damn about the product. EA Sports are a multi-million corporation. So FIFA is an arcade. So like we have the licenses, we have the graphics, we have the stadiums, cool. Slap on Ultimate Team, we're all good. We'll just flip in pimp you for extra cash as well. Konami care about the game, and Konami are simply better developers than EA Sports. So when you look at Pro Evo, see, FIFA is an arcade. Pro Evo is a simulation. So when you look at Pro Evo, the animation is better. It feels much more realistic. And there's just little things that they do, so that, Yeah, these guys, they understand what it feels like to be in a football match. So I've always said like Pro Evo just for me just feels more authentic than FIFA. Like FIFA is just it's an arcade. Like there was a FIFA that was good though. Like I think I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been the first one that had Ultimate Teams, which was good because I think it was me and two of our friends. We used to play Ultimate Team. So like all of us pro clubs. See, pro clubs, I give you that. Pro clubs was fun. Because when you each control one dude and everything, some hilarious matches, man. Absolutely hilarious matches. Like that was really exciting, especially when you played other clubs and other guys. That was amazing. So yeah, man, it's like for me, Pro Evo, this last one or Pro Evo 06, man. The one with I think Henry and Kak on the front. And remember there was one Pro Evo where Adriano they had Adriano on steroids. You could shoot from Adriano. It might have been the 06 one. It might have been the 06 one. You could shoot from Adriano from anywhere and the keeper would only parry it. I think his shooting was 99. Stupid. It was stupid, man. From Dan. HH, thank you for the super chat, Mr. Dan. HH, as a football fan, are there any narratives about Messi, real haters, that are simply not true? Personally, off the pitch, media says he has a big ego. I think the narrative that he makes decisions at Barcelona, I don't think people really say that he has a big ego. I don't think they say that specifically, but I think the narrative that he makes decisions for Barcelona, I don't think that's true. He's got great influence. It is what it is. He is an icon for the club. But Messi isn't, as I said again, Messi is, once Messi retires, he's not touching for football again. He's not. He's just going to grow his merchandise and everything. I don't think Messi is the kind of guy who wants to be fully involved in the game beyond playing. So I don't think he's a dude who'll be like, oh, like, buy this guy, get this guy, and everything. He may suggestions and everything, but I don't think he's a guy that would be making decisions. To him, seeing that he makes decisions and he tells guys who to buy, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true because I just don't think that's his personality to be like, no, like solo guys, who are we gonna buy this comes up and everything? Nah, because he just plays, So that's my thing, man. Oh my gosh, Recoba, man. You're taking me back, man. Alvaro Recoba, man. That's going way back, bro. That is going way, way, way back, man. Yeah, 06 was Adriano, yeah. No. He was a cheat. Like, he was literally a cheat player in that game, But see, that's why I stopped playing online because I got too aggressive. Because I used to play like pro clubs and everything. Do you know one of the worst feelings in the world is you're playing online and you know that this player, he's crap. He's crap. You're doing great football, playing all this kind of stuff, but you can't score. And this moron, you know that this guy doesn't have any idea what he's doing. He's moving guys. This guy can't play the game. He's not functioning. 91st minute, he does one long ball. Your keeper somehow fumbles or hesitates, and he scores, and you lose. That stuff I can't deal with on an emotional level. That's why I said, you know what, just for my peace of mind and for my health, I said, you know what, because it was too much. Like screaming, swearing, breaking the pad, throwing the pad down, banging on the buttons. It wasn't good. It wasn't good, man. It wasn't good, man. So playing online is very, very unhealthy, man. Very unhealthy. pick your front three. Ooh, Messi, R9, Dino. Oh, it's already easy. Maradona, Pele, Cristiano. Messi, R9, Dino. For sure. Now, of course, you've got great goal scorers in Pele and Cristiano, and obviously the creativity of Maradona. Maradona is key. You have the finishing of R9, and you have creative geniuses in Messi and Dino. Between those three, it's a wrap. It's a flipping wrap, man. It's a feature wrap, bro. It's a feature wrap, man. So yeah, this. You see, there are times where you can be original. See, and this is the, and I think even me and my brother even talked about this. Most times in Pro Evo, if you lose to a better player. You can't be a crap player. Okay, very rarely can you be not know what you're doing and beat a player who knows what he's doing. A guy, a skilled Pro Evo player, more times than not, will beat a novice. FIFA, bro, there are times when even if you don't know, see, because it's an arcade. So because it's an arcade, there are times when a guy who doesn't have a clue what he's doing can just end up winning somehow, some way, through fluke. It's a lot harder to win through fluke through Pro Evo. That's the thing, man. Would you take Forlan over Cavani and the Cannibal? No, because again, it's like I see, if you're saying overall, no. Now, if you're saying 2010 Forlan, perhaps, but you didn't specify that, so you're obviously saying overall. So Forlan's career overall wasn't that great. Forlan just had an amazing World Cup in 2010, and also he was also very good in the, I think it was about the 2011 Copa America. So those 2 years, Forlan was amazing, but it was only for 2 years. So Cavani and the Cannibal did more over a longer period of time than those dudes, man. Sorry, what's it? HH, a consistent player who chokes or a clutch player who isn't consistent? A clutch player who isn't consistent. Because I'll just ensure that I have a strong team that can get him to those situations. So I'll just have a strong that gets into those situations where he can be clutch. Because you can be consistent all you want to see. A consistent player doesn't win me any trophies because in those critical games, he chokes. But a clutch player, literally, as long as we can just get to that final, is going to win me that final. He's going to come up big in that big game. So my job as a manager is let's just get him to this semi because he's going to be a brick for most of these games, but in those, let's just get him to those big games because when he comes to those big games, he's going to come through. Cool, because this is a dude, you've got us to this big game. Are you going to show up? No, I'm going to choke. So, of what use are you? What's the point of getting to a semi or getting to a final or getting to a critical game only to lose and for your player to choke? So, no, man, give me the clutch player who isn't consistent. Consistency is overrated. Okay. How important is consistency really? Really? Come on, really, Harry O'Kane, best ever sportsman athlete across all sports. This really should be a decathlete. So I don't really have the names of them, but this should really, because you say the best, not the best. The best sportsman athlete is a decathlete who literally does like what's called 10 different events. So, oh shit. So if we're going away from there, and we're not really looking at decathletes and so forth, or athletics. I mean, Michael Phelps is pretty crazy, man. Michael Phelps is pretty crazy. So, best athletes. Because someone who really personifies what it means, really personifies top tier athleticism. I mean, like you might say Jordan in terms of physically what he was doing with his body, like his hang time, how he would sort of contort his body left, right, and so forth, his tongue out and the twist. Because when you just look at clips of Jordan and some of the things that he did, like that is athleticism on a different level. And just look how a guy can stay in the air for like 2, 3, 4 seconds and so forth is insane. Is insane. So for me, I'll probably say Jordan, man. I'm probably going to say your boy Jordan. Hey, there you go, MJ. You see, the thing about Bolt though is that is just one specific athletic thing, which is just speed over a short distance. You know, I think Jordan shows more athletically than him. Because see, for me, Phelps, let's not sleep on Phelps, because Phelps, I think it's freestyle, it's breaststroke, backstroke, four strokes, and everything, and he's proficient at all of those. So I think Phelps has to be in the conversation. Phelps has to be in the conversation for sure, for sure. That's the thing, man. What has to happen in order for there to be a 24-hour stream? If Chelsea win the Champions League, or if Chelsea win the treble, 24-hour stream, if Nigeria ever win the World Cup, a 7-day non-stop stream. So there you go. Those are the particular parameters that we go through. You see, for me, I think for Serena, Federer, and everything, it's a very particular thing they're doing. So it's a bit too specific. I don't think tennis players show as varied athleticism as a swimmer who can do several styles, and how Jordan played the game. Because obviously, just like the kinds of things that Jordan was doing and the way in which he was executing things with the baskets was insane. Was insane, man. Was insane, you know. So athleticism, it's a lot more it's a lot more complex. It's a lot more complex, man. But I was say, like, if talking about greatest, Ali, man, you know, Ali Boumbaye, you know, like that is probably the greatest sporting moment, was Rumble in the Jungle. You know, that's what you call an iconic sportsman. And see, for me, I regret not being alive to see that. Imagine watching that live. No, imagine the build-up to that fight. It would have been insane. Because obviously everybody would have been supporting Ali, but everyone knew how scary Foreman was. And everyone thought, no, Foreman is going to beat the living crap out of this dude. So the fact that it was in Zaire, the build, the whole thing, the interviews and everything, everyone thought Ali was going to lose, and how the tactics that Ali employed. So people thought, my God, this guy's losing, he's just holding and everything. Oh no, that would have been insane to watch. Like I'd have lost my mind if I watched that live. I would have lost my flipping mind, man. Messi, no. The most popular, the two most popular sports people in history are Jordan and Ali. There's no sports person that's more popular than them. You know, like Jordan is literally a brand. You know, and Muhammad Ali is known on the entire planet. You know, like Messi and Cristiano are not touching Ali's and Jordan's popularity. No way. No way. Like Jordan and Ali are a whole other category, man. Whole other category. Whole other category. I agree. In terms of just boxing technique, just the art of boxing, bro, Mayweather is actually one of the best boxers of all time. Easily. Like Mayweather is easily one of Mayweather's no. Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. is the best boxer I've ever seen, hands down. But an argument can be said that technically the best boxer ever is Mayweather, because Mayweather handled the art of hitting and not getting hit. That was the art. Javan, this is way past your bedtime. Okay? This is past your bedtime, Javan. What the bloody heck are you still doing awake at 1 a.m.? This is the Thug's hour. This is the real Thug's hour, Javan, okay? But I'm glad you're here, dear sir. I'm glad you're here, dear sir. You see, I think Roy Jones Jr.'s prime is better than Mayweather. Facts. But Mayweather was always good. Roy Jones only did tennis. Basically, Roy Jones explained it. He wanted to go unbeaten. And when he felt that the judges robbed him of his first loss, he was like, all right, F it. And then just didn't really care anymore because, okay, like that's it. But he was trying to go for, so if let's say he wasn't robbed for his first L, who knows? Roy Jones maybe goes unbeaten, and then we're now having a different conversation as to the best boxer. But at their best, there's never been a boxer as good as Roy Jones, and I'm even including Tyson as well. At his best, Roy Jones was insane. If you just watch clips of Roy Jones Jr., it was sensational. Sensational. Bro. But if you look at his dunks in the dunk contest, those were insane as well, man. Like Vince Carter, best dunker of all time, easily. Best dunk of all time. Let's go to some. So Portugal, dark horses to win Euros or World Cup in 2022. Let me think. Portugal are building a crew. Man. They're building a flipping crew, man. And I think that they're definitely going to be good. These guys are definitely going to be, because look, because the beauty about Portugal is almost similar to Germany, where you now have a blend of young players, youth players, and you also have experienced players as well. So you have the blends of both. So 2022, I don't know, because 2022, Cristiano's going to be what's like 36 or 30, 37. So that's going to be dodgy. But I think that's Euros. Dark horses to win Euros. No, not dark horses. No, Portugal, I think, would be one of the slight favorites. Because if you just say France, well, it depends on how hazard is this finish. So we say France, then you have to look at Portugal. Holland are resurgent. Germany are resurgent. England are still a sort of young team. Italy are sort of like resurgent as well. So Portugal have a lot of guys who are good, young, and some veterans as well. So, oh God, I don't want to answer that. Don't think, man. What will you do if Chelsea finishes ninth? I'll give Lampard a call. I will give Lampard a call. But that's one of the nightmares I have, that so hyped and everything, and Chelsea have a horrible season. That would be frightening. That would be damn frightening, man. That would be. I don't want to see that happen, man. I don't want to see that happen. Hell no, hell no, hell no. From Sean Walsh, who says, thank you for the super chat, Mr. Sean. Messi over Zidane, incredibly obvious late response. Sean, for me, I believe Zidane is a better player than Messi. That's just for me. And this is just using my eye test, like watching Zidane play, I was like, okay, this is different. Like the kinds of things that Zidane is doing psychologically on the pitch, his technique, even the way he controls the ball. Basically, for me, Zidane is like, he's an artistic. Messi is like, basically, I think even Hullet even said, like, Messi is like a PlayStation. It's like a guy who's on 99 max on PlayStation, where like it's like crazy. Zidane is more about he's an artist, so there is more imagination towards Zidane did, and there is more beauty in the way that he played the game. So just as you watch it, like wow, there's an elegance. That's what there's an elegance to how Zidane played the game, similar to Dino. Like Dino brought an elegance, which is why I just say that Dino did some stuff on that pitch that, you know, like, Zidane did some stuff on that pitch where you're like, you know what, this is different. This is different. So it is what it is, man. From Dan, thank you for 4 member, Mr. Dan. In order of the best, Tyson, Mayweather, Joshua, Ali, in terms of ability, order them. Ability. Well, Joshua is last, that's for sure. So this is them at their peak. Them at their peak. I would say Tyson, Mayweather, Ali, Joshua. So this was them at their peak. Tyson at his peak was frightening because not only was he hitting you, not only was he also dodging you, knew how to evade, but he was also knocking you out. You see, Tyson and Mayweather are close, but the reason why I give Tyson the edge is he was knocking you out in the first round. Mayweather was never really knocking guys out. So, but at the peak, Tyson, boom, I hit you. You don't really hit me. I can see and study how you're going to throw those punches. Whole other level. Whole other different level, bro. Whole other different level, man. We brought down Mike Tyson v. Mayweather. Who wins and why? Peak 1v1. See, this is difficult to do because they are of different weight classes. As you know, they have different weight classes. So this is unfair. It's unfair because Tyson wins, because if at their peak, one blow from Tyson, see now this thing though. This is the thing. Mayweather doesn't get hit. So maybe there may be some logic because Mayweather doesn't get hit. So put it this way. If Tyson can hit Mayweather, it's over. But if Mayweather can avoid getting hit, Mayweather wins on points. Because Mayweather will just easily outpoint Tyson. So the question is, can Mayweather, if let's say they can just say they can put them both in the same weight class and they can ensure that they're both in the same weight, the question will be, can Mayweather get hit? Because if Mayweather gets hit, it's over. You know, it's over because guys, Tyson was on a different level, bro. But I don't know. But I see where he's coming from with the question, because it's in a hypothetical. Put them in the same weight class. Let's say give Mayweather the same power as Tyson. So let's make Mayweather a heavyweight, but he still keeps his skills. So it'll just be about, can Mayweather evade Dan? So can Mayweather evade Tyson, man? Harry Kane, Fury or Joshua? Fury versus Tyson. Oh, Fury all day. All day. Oh, sorry, Fury versus peak Tyson, I think wins that. Peak Tyson beats Fury. Fury beats Joshua all day, every day. I think everybody will know it. Like, if they do, Fury is the best heavyweight right now. He's the best heavyweight. And if they fight, Joshua can't beat Fury. He can't. He can't beat Fury. I think Fury is just too skilled, and he just understands the art of boxing too well. Because remember, Joshua is still learning, and I think Joshua has to rely on the knockouts. And I just think that Fury is too evasive to get pulled into the knockouts. And I think, because again, like, how he got up from that whole Wilder thing makes no sense, but it is what it is. It is what it is, dear sire. So guys, look, man, It has been swell, man. I've done like, I think I've done almost about 5 hours of just, yeah, I think I've done 5 hours of flipping, almost 5 hours of just flipping streaming. So, guys, I need to rest, man, because I've talked a lot. I've talked a lot, man. So, guys, so tomorrow it begins. So, tomorrow the first stream will be Liverpool Leeds. Liverpool Leeds. Join me for that post-match stream straight after the game. Then afterwards, a Saturday hangout from 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Then Sunday, we will do our thing. Sunday, 11 p.m. hangout, guys. Monday, I'm going live on Twitch. Monday, September 14th, I'm going live on Twitch for Chelsea's first game of the season. First game of the season, I'll be live on Twitch. So, guys, stay true, stay well, stay sexy, stay sassy, and be good, but always, always, always stay black. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Become a Patreon member. Get access to my blog, get access to exclusive videos, and also get access to the podcast, to the Saturday and the Sunday hangouts. Head over to patreon.com/halfwop to gain all these goodies while also supporting your boy, HH.